Sometimes we find ourselves in situations where there's something in the environment that is not useful for us, that we might want to mitigate in one fashion or another. Sometimes it's the water we drink, the food we eat. Sometimes it's the air we breathe. You might find yourself at various times either being in an area that has wildfires nearby, or that has a fair amount of mold in the house, or has a virus or bacterial issues that the air has to be somehow dealt with. It has to be mitigated in some fashion. So there's a lot of work that's been done with this over the years, and there are different filtration systems that somebody could buy or build, and the vast majority of them will cost, the good ones will cost somewhere between a couple $100 to a few $1,000s. Sometimes we can't even do anything because the house we live in is actually an apartment or part of a large apartment complex that has some kind of central air supply that you can't change in any sort of way. So you could buy an air filtration system for your room for each house, and that could be pretty costly. That could be like around several hundreds to a few $1,000s per room. Or you could do something that's, I think, very reachable, very doable, and relatively inexpensive, that pretty much anybody can build in the house in minutes, really. So I'd like to show you how to do that. So first, you just need to buy some packing tape, any packing tape you want. Second, if you get a fan of some sort, a lot of people tend to use this 20-inch by 20-inch kind of fan system. And the reason is because what you're trying to do is you're trying to add a home filtering system that's very easy to buy at any of the sort of hardware stores. And these come in different sizes, but 20 by 20 is a very common size. And they come in different strengths, which is how tiny the filtering system is, or how small of a particle you can remove. And for me, for this instance, what I'm mostly interested in is that you want to use either something called a MERV 13, a MERV 13, or this one uses a FPR. So you want to use a FPR 10 or above. And what these kind of look like is this is what the FPR looks like, and this one says FPR 9, which I think is somewhat useful. But really what you'd like to get is a MERV that says FPR or FPR 10 or MERV 13. And often the filters on the some part of it will show you what it's supposed to remove. So FPR 13 will go into the micron stages, and very, very useful, very easy thing to work with. As well, all the filters will have a directionality to it. And so what you can see, there'll be some kind of arrow that kind of looks like this, that shows that they want the airflow to go in that direction, the direction of the arrow. And then what you want to do is you want to attach this filter to the back of the fan. So if there's a fan, there'll be a name on the front. If you turn it to the back, that's what you're going to attach this filter to. And you want the airflow to match the direction. So this, because it's the back of the fan and the air is going to be drawn in, you want the arrow to face the fan. And then just pull some of the packing tape. I pulled it already. And you just simply attach the filter. You don't have to be 100% finicky with the taping. You want to be able to capture as much of the airflow to not go around the filter, but rather to go through the filter. So that's kind of how long that took. Doesn't take very long. And if you notice, the airflow is pointing towards the fan because it's in the back of the fan. And then you plug the fan in, and then you turn into electricity, into power, and then you turn it to the lowest setting, and air will be drawn in from the back, and all the different particles will get caught in this mesh, and air will come out here with less particles. And so I don't know how long that took, 2-3 minutes. It costs, what I just described would cost anywhere from $30 to $50, depending on how fancy the fan is. But here, you're just simply trying to move some air. What else is important? Of course, this is an electrical device, so you should only have it on when somebody's in the house, and keep out of reach of children. And you basically are trying to aim it not directly at people, but sort of away from people. And what will happen is, within a few hours, or a couple of hours, a lot of the particles that are in the room will just be stuck in that filter.